Welcome to Grey Primer, a weekly show that's mostly about miniatures. My name is Nick, I'm your host, and in this episode I'm looking at another Warhammer 40k Battleforce. It's your favorite space vampires, the Blood Angels. No! Space Werewolves. So I'm very aware that this is a departure from the norm for me. You know, where I collect Blood Angels and have them grey primed and just sort of build up behind me, out of shot, unpainted and unloved. I couldn't resist this thing. This just looks so cool. What's it called? The Stormfang? No, Stormwolf. That just looks amazing. I got a bunch of Intercessors here, and as long as they're not sort of cast for Space Wolves, as long as like an accessory sprue, I could probably use these in my Blood Angels. I've got the Wulfen, which just look like very cool minis. And this dude here, Tech Priest guy. Iron Priest, even better. So this will very much live within the Space Wolves. I will give them that. I'll not try to convert these out of there. But I think this group are destined for Blood Angels. Let's crack this open and see what we got. And a nice sort of battle scene on the edge there, which is kind of nice. Got another sort of stylized diorama image of the Marines doing their thing. And on the back we've got a breakdown of what's in the box. So we have one Iron Priest. We got 10 of these Space Wolf Intercessors, 5 Wulfen, and 1 Stormwolf. Whoa! Wow! This is a lot of plastic. This is, like, I could barely get this tray out of that box. It was so jammed in there. But that's a good thing. These look like, yes, so these are Space Wolves conversion sprues, which means that in all likelihood, the Marines in the box are going to be generic, which is good. That's good news. But these are nice. I mean, there's lovely clear markings on the pauldrons there. Some chain swords and little accessories that are specific to the wolves. And this must be the Iron Priest. Oh, that's lovely. 2016 on the date stamp. And look at these monster sprues for the Stormwolf. The 3 of them here. This thing is big, right? And there's some beautiful detail on these parts. These good shields with like wolf pelts and stuff hanging off them. And the length of it here is quite significant. I mean, that's... And where's our... I don't know if this is 4 inches, but let's take it as 4 inches. So this is like close to 6 inches long, if not more. And then I'm going to assume this is the Wulfen. Some nice, intricate pieces there. Lots of parts. I mean, these... Yeah, I mean, there's those claws that I could see on the cover of the box. The hammer. It looks like they are... Each figure is made of many components, which is interesting. Or maybe that's only part of it. I'm not sure. These look like Marines. All right, here's the rest of the Wulfen. Okay, this is the remainder of their sprue with their sort of larger body parts on it. And then we're into the Intercessors here. So, full-size sprue. You get a pair of them. Just need to look at one. I like this where he's just holding the bolter. Anything like that, which is slightly different. You know, when you see the slings or whatever from the rifles hanging down, I love that stuff. Like here, pretty nice putting these together. Lots of accessories there. You can see pistols within their holsters. So really looking forward to getting those built up. Got 5 larger bases here. I'm assuming that's for the Wulfen. And then these will be for the Intercessors. The single base here will be for the Iron Priest. And then the larger base for that big Stormwolf. Nice transfer sheet for the Space Wolves. More teeth than you could possibly imagine. And some nice runic stuff there as well. Honor markings and runes. Got the Space Wolves Primaris Intercessors. Nice color image on the front. Nice indicator of where to put your decals. And then, as we're coming to expect, color instructions with markers as to show you where the glue goes. So really cool. Wow, look at all these options for personalizing them. Loving that. Oh, and then back to a black and white instruction, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Wulfen with pack leader, or just Wulfen. Okay, so a variant there. That pack leader looks pretty cool if he's the dude with the Wolverine claws. Okay. Whoa, this is heavy going. Stormfang Gunship or Stormwolf. Ooh, I wonder if all the components are in it for making this. That could be interesting. And then a breakdown of the stats in the back. That looks kind of old-fashioned. Doesn't look like the usual layout for their stats page. Okay, let's go get them built, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's break it down. So, we had the option of going with the Stormwolf, which is like mostly armored troop carrier. But I decided to go with the Stormfang Gunship. The Stormfang Gunship comes with this monster Hellfrost Destructor weapon here, which is like the, I don't know, it's not quite half the length of the thing, but just get it into frame there for you. Yeah, so that's it here. Though it's a huge weapon, and you can see at the front there, it just comes out and spitting hate all day long. So pretty much what you have here is a reduced troop carrying function, still incredibly well armored, but with a much more sort of aggressive weapon at the front there. You also have on either side the twin linked las cannons, and you have the two twin linked heavy bolters. You got them on either side there, but just to show you. So a pretty significant amount of firepower with this thing. And really, really nice looking. So what I'm going to do with it, I've left the plastic canopy off here because I want to have access to painting. And in order to be able to put the canopy in afterwards, I didn't glue down this piece. This piece kind of locks it in place. So I'll get this little guy primed and painted all around these parts, get the plastic in, get this glued down, and I'll be good to go. But just from many angles, this thing is really nice. Loads of Space Wolves details around it. These are sort of accessories you can put on wherever you want. All of these little bits here, you can put those on anywhere you want. It is entirely up to you. But really nice looking vehicle. Just completely solid. You know, it's like the rhino of the sky, this thing. And look at that view as well. Absolutely gorgeous looking thing. And underneath, you can see access to where the flight stand goes, which is this dude here. And it just goes straight into that cross shape. And then I can sit like that. There's a little bit of wiggle room, so I can actually angle it like this so it's more pointing down. Or you can move it back so that it's more pointing straight across. Or you can have it sitting a little higher up there so it looks like it's taking off. Really cool. What I'm actually going to do with this is get a rotation magnet into this ball bearing in here, and then it should give me a bit of flexibility as to how that sits. And then I'll get it all looking spectacular and painted at some point in the future. But let's get into the miniatures. I'll have a look at the Intercessors first. It's the first time I've built Primaris Intercessors. And I gotta tell you, these are fantastic miniatures. These are so much better than I imagined they're going to be. Each one of them, or most of them, seems to have a little bit of a narrative due to the way they've been accessorized, the way they've been molded, the different types of actions that they're undertaking. And let's just go through them. Now, bear in mind, I modified these for Blood Angels. So they've got none of their Space Wolf stuff. Some of the heads have been swapped out with Blood Angels heads, and the pauldrons as well may show some Blood Angels iconography. But if you're a Space Wolves fan, I'm sorry, I didn't touch the Wulfen. I didn't touch the Stormfang. I didn't touch the Iron Priest. But the Intercessors, they're going to a different chapter, unfortunately. So straight off the bat, pointing off to the side, you got the purity seal hanging here from the pistol in its holster. You've got the sling hanging down here from this rifle. And this is just such a dramatic pose. Even without the Blood Angel's head, this is very, very cool. Got the combat knife sticking out the back here. The helmet, I think they call it maglocking. Maglock to the rest of the armor there. And I did try where the Marines weren't wearing their helmets. I did try to have them on their belt. But I just love this pose. I love the way the sling is hanging down here and the rifle. It just feels so authentic. So even with this most standard of trooper, I got him to raise the barrel on this cracker looking rifle. He's looking up in the direction the rifle's pointing, and it just gives it that feeling that he's really engaging like a target in an Overwatch or something. So even that most routine looking of trooper looks a little different. And this is another one of the grenade launchers, because I have 2 squads of 5 here. I'm allowed to have 2 grenade launchers. And again, just glorious. And I remember to drill my barrels, which is always a good thing. And let's have a look at this other sergeant. Helmet off, with some kind of augmatic on the eye there. You can see the pretty boy blonde hair of the Blood Angels. And I don't know if there's any Blood Angels iconography on this one, but I definitely squeezed it in wherever I could make it fit. I love the combat knife out, and as you can see, the combat knife sheath here is empty. And I just used the Dremel just to make a little opening there to make it feel authentic, that he had just pulled it out of here. He's got his arm sort of cradling his rifle. So here's another one of these very cool poses. This guy's in mid reload. He's got the rifle braced on his thigh, and he's just about to slap in another mag. I might actually, before I prime this, I might just run the Dremel up inside there, just to make it look as if there is a sort of a space for that magazine to be loaded. Again, we have the holstered pistol, the purity seal stuck on that one. Another one on his backpack here, and the combat knife clearly visible. But just how dramatic is that? That's just great. Love these Intercessors. The next one looks like he's got a bit of movement going on. He's not exactly flooring it across the battlefield, but he's having a brisk walk across the battlefield with this Stalker bolt rifle. Again, the longer scope on the Stalker ones. And a really nice pose. Really nice action pose there. But these are so cool. And then the last one of the Intercessors is another one of these very special poses. This one has got his... is that a comm link on the arm? I can't really remember what the function of that is. Probably a multi-purpose device like sat-nav, comms, mission briefing updates, things like that. But he's checking it out, and I just love the way he's looking straight at it. And you can see I've gone with the mohawk on this one. He's got that cool haircut, respirator on. You can see the Blood Angel's pauldron here to the side. And because his helmet is off, I have it maglocked onto his belt here. And what I really like about this is this, not only him looking at this device in his arm, but he's also got his rifle slung, and he's got his pistol out. That's just amazing. What a great mini. Absolute beaut. Look how cool this guy looks. He is just absolutely loaded with stuff. He's got this incredible articulated arm that looks like a wolf's head. And I think this is magnificent. He's just not messing about. I just realized I made it very difficult for myself with the way the pauldron is placed here with this articulated arm. If I want to get that painted, that's going to be pretty tight in there. I mean, what I could do is I can always find out where that glued on. All you've got to really do is put a little bit more plastic cement in there, and it'll just, you'll be able to loosen it and take it off without doing any damage. I mean, that's the beauty of that plastic cement, especially something like Tamiya extra thin. It just gets into all the little nooks and crannies, and you'll be able to just wobble that off. It's a last resort kind of thing. And really, I should have spotted it when I was sticking it together, how tight that was going to be and how awkward it was going to be. Hey, maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe it's I can keep it simple with a base coat and a wash or contrast paint or something like that. Maybe pick out a couple of details. But anyway, a great looking mini. Okay, now we get into the Wulfen. So you are allowed one pack leader, which is this guy here. And he looks incredible. It's hard not to look at this and think sort of Wolverine. The claws coming out of near the hands there, the friendly attitude. Or Wolverine's arch nemesis. What was he called? I can't remember. It'll come to me. If it doesn't come to me, someone will put it into the comments. But the line between Astartes and Space Werewolf is very thin here. I'd say very firmly crossed. You can see all the pelts hanging off. You can see the claws rather than feet. This is absolutely the beast within. And it is beautiful looking. And let's get into the regular troops here. That first one was called a pack leader. So here are the regular troops. As you can see, hand-to-hand combat weapons. And also you've got this auto frag launcher. Each miniature within the regular troopers of the Wulfen can have one of these. And it actually allowed me to have a little bit of fun with the direction it's pointing. Just gives them that little bit of, like this one, he's just legging it in. He's not putting down any fire. He's just going to smash stuff with his hammer and shield. The next one, it's pointing directly over his head here. I don't know how they're controlled, whether they're independently controlled from the host, but you can imagine if these are in some kind of a animal rage, maybe having like a frag cannon attached to the back of their head is not a good move. Another one here, this incredible axe. Just look at the level of detail within that. Absolutely beautiful. It's got this undeniable animal ferocity in the face there. Nice braids though. Whoever does his hair is doing a great job. And we look at the backpack there. Lots of little space wolf details here on either side of it. Cute. The cool little skull hanging off the bottom. That's me talking about braids now. I'm talking about how cute these are. Apologies, audience. I like the combat knife sheath as well. It looks like it's hand stitched in leather. So that's an additional little detail there that could easily be missed. But very cool. And then the final one, where he's in full sprint across the battlefield. Another one of those gloriously sculpted axes. You can see all the Space Wolves detail on it there. All those combat knives with the frag launcher here just pointing up to the sky. So this one's not in use at the minute. Maybe it's out of ammo, or maybe he just prefers his trusty axe. And let's have a look at this. Gorgeous face. Cool hair. Cool beard braids. And yeah. Glorious. But that's it. That's the Space Wolves Battleforce, the Talons of Mordecai. A really surprising kit. For sure the Wulfen are just sort of clicked together. There's not a huge amount of variety there with how they connect up. The Iron Priest, very cool as well. I love this huge thing here. This is just monstrous, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it could be cool in maybe a couple of photos or a diorama or something. I'll have a bit of play with that. It might even be good as something that if I break it up and have it as a bit of a crash scene. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna work on that one. But honestly, for me, and it's a bit sad, but I love these intercessors. I love the guy changing the magazine, the one with pointing off with the sling hanging down, the one checking his arm device, whatever that thing is. And I really love that Warhammer Citadel miniatures are having fun here. They're, even though these are just standard troops, they're not just saying, well, you're not going to have anything special because they're just stock troops. They're adding creative elements to them. They're making them interesting. They're making them something you want to buy more of, have a bit of fun painting, have a bit of fun modding out. And that's so cool, because that used to be just reserved for special figures, like the likes of these Wulfen or something like this Iron Priest. Figures you would spend a little bit more money on and get fewer in your box. And whereas what we have here are just stock troops that are fun to build and look at. And maybe even fun to paint. I guess we'll see on that one. But that's it for now. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. And I will see you the next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.